The Magical Vegetable Garden. Once upon a time in a quaint little village, there lived a group of children who simply did not like to eat their vegetables. They wrinkled their noses at broccoli, pushed peas away, and avoided carrots as if they were the villains in their plates. Their parents, worried about their health, tried every trick in the book to get them to eat their greens, but nothing seemed to work. One day, a new family moved into the village. They were known as the Greenleafs, and they were rumored to have a magical vegetable garden. The children of the village were curious, so they decided to pay a visit. As they entered the Greenleafs' garden, they were amazed by what they saw. The garden was unlike any they had ever seen before. Vegetables of all colors and shapes grew abundantly, glistening with a magical glow. Mrs. Greenleaf, a kind and gentle lady, greeted the children warmly. "Welcome, dear children, to our magical vegetable garden," she said with a smile. "Here, vegetables are not just food, they have stories and secrets to share." Intrigued, the children gathered around as Mrs. Greenleaf began to tell them stories about each vegetable. She spoke about the adventures of adventurous carrots that once traveled the world in search of new flavors. She recounted the brave broccoli that stood up to a mischievous caterpillar, teaching it the importance of sharing. And then there were the wise peas that had once helped a lost butterfly find its way home. As Mrs. Greenleaf spoke, the children couldn't help but feel connected to these vegetables. They saw them in a new light, not just as something to eat, but as characters with their own unique stories. Their curiosity and imagination were sparked, and suddenly, the vegetables became fascinating. Mrs. Greenleaf then invited the children to pick their own vegetables from the garden and promised that the vegetables would taste even more delicious after hearing their stories. With newfound excitement, the children carefully plucked carrots, peas, broccoli, and more from the garden, eager to taste their magical flavors. That evening, the children sat down to a dinner filled with the vegetables they had picked. As they took their first bites, they remembered the stories Mrs. Greenleaf had shared. The broccoli wasn't just a green tree-like thing, it was a brave hero. The carrots weren't just orange sticks, they were adventurers. And the peas weren't just round green balls, they were wise companions. The children were amazed to find that the vegetables did taste better than ever before. They savored each bite, not just for the taste but also for the stories they had heard. From that day on, the children developed a love for vegetables, and they eagerly visited Mrs. Greenleaf's magical garden to hear more stories and try new veggies. And so, the children learned that vegetables weren't just healthy and nutritious, but they also held stories, lessons, and magic. From then on, they shared these stories with their friends and families, spreading the love for vegetables throughout the village. And as the children grew stronger, healthier, and wiser, they all lived happily ever after. Remember, my dear little ones, that vegetables are not just food, they are the heroes of their own stories, waiting to be discovered by curious hearts. So, the next time you see a plate of vegetables, think about the magical garden and the wonderful tales they have to share.